So remember how when we were going somewhere recently, I think it was during the Colorado trip, we figured out that we could do this episode about like 5 rules or ways to improve or things to do for a better relationship, especially if it's a new relationship.
Yes.
So this is the weird thing. I had all of them figured out in my head, and now I only remember the first one. I remember we said, do not pretend.
You wrote them down.
Where?
They're in a little piece of paper in the truck. I saw it there the other day.
Really? I can explain where the first one came from, because I was thinking, first of all, like, why would I want to do an episode like that? Because I don't think we're relationship experts or anything, but you can testify to. Hello. But you know, we did go for a few pretty long road trips, and if you want to test yourself and see whether you're really meant to be with a person or not, go for a long road trip. That reveals so much, and it will teach you so much about yourself and the other person and how you work as a couple.
So what did you learn?
On our road trips? A lot of stuff.
Like what?
Like the first rule, do not pretend, because very often when you're especially in a new relationship and you're thinking to yourself that you want to put on some mask or a face or be a character that the other person would like and it would get you closer to their heart, and that's stupid, because eventually, you know, the true colors come out in every relationship, and you can't pretend to be someone you're not.
But don't you think the good thing about us is that we knew each other for so long as friends that there was no pretending, because you don't pretend with friends. So.
Exactly. But a lot of time when people start new relationships, they think to themselves, you know, they know or heard something about that person and they want to get into their good graces, and they think, you know, they would like if I said that, or if I, you know, played like I'm this person that I'm not really. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually the other person is going to see your true colors.
And if they don't, then geez, what the hell is it to have to be somebody else for your whole life?
Yeah, like, I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. Nobody can pretend longer than maybe a few weeks, especially in a relationship. Although there was this movie True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was the secret agent and she thought he was a appliance salesman.
Mm-hmm.
You think I could be an appliance salesman on the surface?
Well, I mean, it's like saying, I'm gonna pretend to be a bank teller to make you fall in love with me. It's just like a weird...
Well, maybe the girl was all about numbers.
Maybe that's it. Well, this is kind of like your pretending thing, I guess. Meaning, not necessarily fight, but don't... I feel like you shouldn't hide things that are bothering you, because then they mount over and over and over again until they become a problem, a bigger problem than if you just mentioned it to begin with. Then I feel like you can deal with it and get it out of the way.
It's actually a difficult one to actually, first of all, realize and then execute, for a lack of a better word, because it's hard to like tell someone in the beginning of a relationship that you're bothered with something they do, but then think about it. If you don't really do it, if you don't put it out in the very beginning, then just as you say, like it becomes a problem later, and then you find yourself in a situation when you've been kind of bottling up your annoyance with something that person does for a long time, and by the time you're ready to tell them about it, you actually explode instead of maybe being able to bring it up in a more civilized manner. The point here is sometimes those annoyances can be easily figured out. Like, you told me in the beginning that you're kind of bothered with me leaving the towels all around the house.
I did?
Yeah. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
And it's an easy thing to I just didn't pay attention to it. Like, sometimes I would leave the towel after taking a shower in the bathroom or in the kitchen on the back of a chair or something. And I'm a guy, like I don't really care about that stuff. Like 2 days later I would put it back to where it belongs. But to you, that is a big issue because it just annoys you that those towels would be found in different places around the house. And that's easily fixable. Like I really did this simply because I don't care about that. I don't really pay attention. But if you tell me don't do that, I'll pay attention and I won't do it. And problem solved right there.
Go out of your way every now and then to do something to make the other person happy. Like, don't just live your life and your normal everyday thing, but try to think every now and then, oh, David would really like this, so I'm gonna do it.
That's a good point, and I think people tend to do that a lot in the beginning of the relationship. It goes back to number one again. Like in the beginning you want to impress the other person and you keep thinking, oh my god, what else can I do to, you know, score points with them? And then after a while you kind of start taking them for granted and you're like, I don't need to buy flowers, I don't need to, you know,
Cook dinner.
I don't need to buy little gifts.
Although I never cooked dinner for you in the beginning, so.
But now you do, and I stopped doing it.
Yeah, but I do it because you said to me that one day when we were talking about Jerry Colindres' video. And you said, I said, one of the questions on his video was, what does the other person do that makes you feel loved or something?
Yeah.
Is that what the question was?
I think so.
And you said, cooking. Like, I don't do that a lot.
Am I going to 95, by the way?
I guess that will work. I don't cook a lot because it just, you're better at it.
So you started cooking because you want to make me feel loved?
Yes.
Very happy with that. I can't deny it. Definitely improving the relationship right there. It's easy to list things like learn to communicate, don't go to bed angry. You know, everybody says that. Everybody thinks those are the main rules, and they certainly are. But I think you have to reach a little deeper, and when you say learn to communicate, the things that we talk about today are kind of part of better communication. Like, don't leave stuff bottled up, you know, speak your heart out when you think it's important. There are like, learning to communicate is a complex process. You can't just say learn to communicate better and next day you're communicating better. Learning to communicate is, you know, when there's a problem, is trying to tackle the problem instead of attacking the other person and hurting their feelings. Which is
looking and trying to understand that everybody is different and we all have different perspectives of life and understanding, and if we try to understand the feelings that the other person is telling us from our perspective, it may be a completely wrong understanding of the problem. We have to understand it from their perspective.
Which sometimes is incredibly difficult to do between simply men and women, because I have to bring up this example of two guys. One gives the other one a book for his birthday that is named All That Men Know About Women, and the book is 400 pages thick, and all of them are empty. Alright, I have found the list we were talking about. Let's see how many of these steps we got right. 1, don't pretend to be someone you're not. Perfect. 2, do not wait to say what's important. We did mention that. 3, know and realize that men and women often communicate very differently, and this is very true. 4, don't be possessive and don't freak out. Time apart is just as important as time spent together. That is very true. When we're in love with someone, we often try to hug them and keep them as close to us as possible all the time. Be patient with your partner, give them this adjustment time, and let things work out on their own. which brings us right to number 5. Do not force anything. I personally have my favorite relation quote ever, which says, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, it's yours forever. If it doesn't, it was never meant to be. It's a hard one to get over, but a very true one. And if you guys can follow this rule and all the rules we talked about today, you're guaranteed to have a happier and healthier relationship. Again, we're no relationship experts. We just wanted to share the observations about our own relationship that has definitely been tested, because we went for more than one long road trip together and we have definitely discovered certain things. So we just thought we would share this own little tiny bit of relationship wisdom with you guys. Let us know how you liked it. If you hated it, let us know as well. If you think we're stupid, let us know. And if it gives you a tiny little bit idea of how to improve your own relationships, let us know that as well. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it with a friend or two and tell them about our We Are Going Somewhere vlog. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
This is your special cone right here, David.
A special cone?
It has DM on it. If this van would scoot up. They're trying to get over. Let's let them over.
There's a cone with my initials behind this van?
Yes.
Wow.
It said, I heard you like to bang cones.